Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 6, Episode 21, titled A Kiss to Build a Dream On. Air date April 27th, 2009, and the synopsis is:
Nathan is offered a 2-year pro contract, but in Europe. Jamie not only does well at his first school dance, but he is also the one who counsels skills to date his teacher. While Payne is bedridden, Lucas repairs the comment as a surprise. Chase must convince Mia his affair with Brooke was and could only happen before them. Haley enjoys working with Nick Lachey, who wants to produce her music. Or no, isn't it the other way around? She wants to produce his...
Well, actually, he wants her song, not to produce.
Right, yeah, I just noticed that the last second here.
Yeah.
So Lucas asks if those pages are from his book, and Payne clarifies that there are pages from the Comet, his book, and not the Ravens.
Either way, it's his book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what was weird. Is that my book? Well, either way, that's your book. Like,
yeah.
I guess it's just not the book that they're sentimental about. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still his book.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was also funny because, like, okay, but like, here's the thing: he has kept her in bed for bed rest. Like, what do you expect her to be doing? You know what I mean? Like, eventually she's gonna go out of her mind because she has nothing to do. You won't let her do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's why. And then, like, the fact that he's just like sitting there, like, smile, like laughing at her because of her hair, which, by the way, her hair still looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they really wanted her to look like, you know, that, they really should have messed her hair up because it still looks pretty.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and Payne's just bored out of her mind, making the paper airplanes and reading the B. Davis magazine over again and again and again.
So they don't have a TV or anything, do they?
I guess not, no, unless it's just in the living room and she can't watch it from the bedroom. So,
because I feel like, you know, you'd be watching like movies and stuff. You wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and couldn't she be reading books too? Like, it's weird how she really has nothing to do.
Yeah, except for Lucas's books. Yeah, but she has the scenes in the magazine. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing is, like, I feel like you would have something to do, whether it's reading a book, because Lucas could very easily go get you a book.
Mm-hmm.
Or why isn't she like listening to music? You know, she loves to listen to music. Like, there's just other things to do besides sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can sit there actually doing something.
Right. And then, yeah, so she just wants to know what life's like outside. But he says he can't tell her because he's working on something. And then she figures out he's making her a present, and she asks if it's a baby present or a present for her and the baby. And he tells her she's right, and she tells him to stay and let her keep guessing because she is bored and wants to play the game.
Okay, so you don't want her to stress out. So let's just keep you guessing. You know, like, let's have you think all day long what I could be doing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, how is that not stressing out her and the baby?
Right, yeah, he should just say it's a surprise and just leave it at that.
Yeah, but shouldn't he be, if he doesn't want her to do a thing, like, shouldn't he also not have her think all day? You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like again, like listening to a song or reading a book, that's not really stressful. So, like, but thinking of what he could be making you kind of would be, because you're constantly thinking, oh, but, you know, and it's like, oh my God, like, because it's about your life. And that's why it's just a little weird that he's not like telling her anything or giving her any hint so that she could maybe stop thinking.
Right. And then Brooke is in her store looking at the B. Davis magazine. And
okay, everybody this season is obsessed with this magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they weren't obsessed last season. It's all this season. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, she had the magazine in the beginning of season 5, but nobody was reading it, or no, they weren't telling us they were reading it. But all of a sudden, in this episode, and remember the one episode, like, everybody's just reading B. Davis, and it's like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys never mentioned it last episode or last season.
Right.
So it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Brooke is now reading it. So it's weird because she just is starting to work with Victoria again. Why would you be reading the magazine?
I don't know.
Because that magazine was created by Victoria, because you just started back at the company. So it's weird. And she's only designing. She is not like in charge of the magazine. So it's weird that you would be reading what somebody who you hate the most did.
Right.
Like, I can't really think on any earth that I would like read something that somebody else did that I could not stand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Unless it was like an old one where she was a part of it, but I couldn't see where she would just be reading the latest one because she wasn't a part of it. It's weird. Because all that would remind you of is Victoria took this from you.
Right.
That was weird to me.
Yeah, it's as if the B. Davis magazine's real and they're sponsoring or something.
Well, because remember when, wasn't it like you that brought it up of like how Peyton wasn't really a good friend for reading the magazine after Victoria took the company? Because it's like, why would you read a magazine if you're like, she should have canceled her subscription.
Mm-hmm.
And like, why would you keep the magazine going when your friend no longer has it? Like, that's not, you're not showing support to your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a little weird how literally they all have it. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. And then Brooke says that she thought vampires didn't photograph, and that's when the devil herself walks in, Victoria.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm. And Sam. And she tells Sam to remind her to buy her a garlic necklace. And Victoria says Brooke's being dramatic, and Brooke says she's not. She's being a mom. And that means keeping Sam out of harm's way. So Victoria figures out that she's the harm. But Brooke lets her know that she's harm's older, decrepit sister, emotional damage. And then Sam tells Brooke that they brought coffee, so play nice. And Brooke asks what she's up to, and Victoria says nothing. She just likes Samantha. She's plucky and dark.
Oh, yeah, because we all know Victoria loves those people.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, like, Peyton was that. And oh, yeah, she just loves Peyton so much.
Right.
Like, she does not like those kind of people. So that was a little weird. I think I don't even really know why she likes Sam. Just, I mean, in the last episode when she met Sam stood up to her.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Peyton has also lashed out at Victoria. So it's weird that she would like Sam, but not Peyton still. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I guess right now it's just to get under Brooke's skin.
Right. Yeah, so Brooke doesn't want her around Victoria because she's been going through a lot. And Victoria acts like she, is actually important to Sam because she says she knows all about Jack. But Brooke said it's more than that. And, Sam wants a family, so she doesn't want her latching onto her just in case she ends up disappointing her. And Victoria says she doesn't intend doing that, and Brooke says she never does. And then the mailman walks in, and Victoria snatches the mail from him and starts going through it.
Yeah, as if she owns the store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the guy's just staying there, so she tells him to hurry along, they don't tip.
I mean, he was only there for 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, Brooke's asking why she's being such a bitch. And Victoria says she's wrong when she's nice and she's wrong when she's mean. She just can't win with her.
Yeah, and so Brooke says, so stop trying.
Mm-hmm. And then, because Brooke also says that she told her that the relationship they had was business, and that includes Sam. And then that's when Victoria finds a letter in the mail for Sam from Rebecca Dennis. And then Peyton is looking at the ceiling fan in bed. And that's when Haley walks in with a B Davis magazine again from this month for her.
That's what I mean. Everybody has it and they're obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was funny when Peyton's like, the ceiling fan does 147 rotations a minute. And it was funny because Haley's like, yeah, okay. Guess that explains like how you're doing.
Yeah.
Again, find something to do. Like, why are you counting the fan, how many times it goes around? It's weird.
Yeah. And then that's when Payne says she got a call from the label this morning. And Payne thinks it's about Mia's record, but Haley says no, even though it's good since she's the producer. But she says that they want to buy one of her songs, and they had an artist listen to it and fall in love with it.
Yeah, so Peyton's telling Haley this, right?
Oh, yeah, I meant Peyton. Yeah, so Haley says she never thought about selling one of her songs, and Payne says that she might want to start thinking about it because they really liked it.
That doesn't mean you have to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they liked it. Congrats.
Right. And then with Nathan, Nino tells Bobby that he'll come off the bench and he'll do whatever it takes. He just wants back in the team, but Bobby tells Nino that he knows how the league works and that there's always someone right behind him ready to do whatever it takes. And the roster's full, so they shake hands, and that's that. And then Nathan tells Bobby that he's there to meet Nino. They're going to run drills. And Bobby says that's good because someone's noticed that they've been playing really well. The scouts, there's nothing, permanent yet, but he'll let them know, or he'll let him know when there's more information about that.
So this is weird. Wasn't the coach letting Nino go?
Yeah, it looked that way.
It was weird because he said, I just went back on the team. And then Nathan hears this. And when he comes up to the coach, he's like, I'm just here to practice with him. And the coach never says, like, well, didn't you just hear, like, he's not on the team? And, like, what?
Yeah, he just left.
I was so confused. I'm like, you just said to him, basically, you're not on the team. And then Nathan comes in and he's on the team. I was like, what is this? It was weird to me. I was like, can someone explain this to me? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And then we do see that Nathan has new pictures in his little cubby area.
Well, and then it threw me off because later on, when Nathan and Nino are talking, he's still there. And if you were off the team, you would have grabbed your stuff right then and there and left. So I was so confused. I'm like, why would he still be there? You know, like in the locker room and stuff. I was like, you would have taken your stuff and left when you talked to the coach. It's weird. Like you don't have that much stuff there in the locker room. Like it's very easy to collect it all right there.
Right.
So that was weird to me. I'm like, so then he's not off the team. I'm so confused.
Right. Yeah, so Nathan has new pictures because the guys looked up his other ones from before.
Yeah.
So like we had extras or made more copies or printouts or whatever. And then Victoria's reading the letter from Sam's birth mom and then puts the whole letter, including the envelope, into the shredder, and Brooke catches her. And Victoria says it's just junk mail. And then after Brooke walks away, she shreds the last piece, or that's what it seemed. And then Victoria's on the phone and she threatens to, threaten someone to deliver fabric. And Victoria tells Brooke that the new line is really good. Some of her best work. She was always a talented girl.
Really? When did she figure this out?
Yeah. So
that's that's what I wish Brooke would say. You know, like these things, like every like little thing Victoria has to say. you know, it's like, why doesn't Brooke come back at her with something?
Right.
You know, it's a little weird. I'm like, Brooke loves to talk back to people, right? She loves to throw in little jabs too. So when Victoria does things like that, like, why doesn't she come back with something? Especially if she hates Victoria that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Victoria's only being nice because she wants, Brooke's help with the company. So that's not even like genuine compliments or anything.
No, it's all about money, money, money. She sees dollar signs
Mm-hmm.
or $1 million signs in her eyes.
Yeah. And then Victoria sits near Sam. And then, yeah, Victoria says her daughter seems sad lately, and Sam asks what gave that away, the kick me or I'm sad sign her Prada. And Sam says Victoria says her designs. So apparently she's better at her designs when she's sad, which is, not good. And she said that she built an empire and a broken heart before. So she asks who's the boy this time. And Sam answers Julian. And the Cliff Notes version is boy meets girl falls crazy in love, can't admit it, boy moves away, asks girl to go with him, and girl says no. And then Victoria, knows this story from before with so had it been Lucas, it couldn't have been really Chase, even though Chase was the more recent one that she was with. But Victoria did start the line when she was still with Lucas when she did that. So yeah, what boy was it then Brooke was sad about before and then made a whole line like this?
Lucas.
Okay, just seeing timing.
Because it was back when she was in high school, she started the line.
Mm-hmm.
And then Victoria only took it over more like when she was in college so that she could, make it $1 million company. Because that's when
Mm-hmm.
Victoria jumped on board with Clothes Over Bros just to make it more successful.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Brooke's the one that designed everything before that.
Right.
And that's why she built the company on her broken heart of Lucas.
Mm.
Because
So
it definitely wasn't Chase, because she was doing well for herself when she was with Chase.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's just when she started the line, she was still, at least in her mind, good with Lucas at the time.
yeah, but this was when she started, though. Remember, that's when it was coming off of like she had slept with like Chris Keller, like that kind of thing.
Mm.
It was like because she was still trying to get Lucas back and all of this. Remember, she was playing all stupid games, and look where it ended her.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of thing. Remember, I said it ain't gonna end well because like, why are you playing games with them?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they were really ever truly, or she was ever really truly fully in it until maybe the end, because she was always playing games with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Mia is at Peyton's now, showing her new song, and Peyton loves it, and she loves Chase for inspiring it. And then Mia says a good kissing inspires good music, so that's when Peyton says Chase is a good kisser, and Mia gives her a confusing look, so Peyton explains that there was one tiny little, hardly memorable time that they kissed.
Yeah, twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was only to make Lucas and Brooke jealous. And then Mia hates she knows this, new info because she's still trying to forget that she's kissed Brooke, and it's not going well. She tells Peyton, and Peyton asks her, why is she so worried about the kissing part? She thought she'd be more concerned about the virginity part. This is also news to me, of course.
Okay, but they were in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really, I feel like with the relationships, you have to go into it thinking they slept together. Do you know what I mean?
Well, sometimes it's not always the case, so you never know.
I know it's not, but if you've never talked about it, you just have to go along with it. Like until they tell you, like, no, we've never slept together, then it's like, okay. But it's like you would just be like, okay, especially like Brooke, like you would just be like, okay, well, of course they slept together. And then if he says, no, we never did, then it's like, okay, cool, like perfect. But I feel like you would just go along with it if it was your boyfriend. Like, of course he slept with her, because that's what guys do. And I wouldn't think you would go into a relationship going, he never slept with any of his exes. Like, it's just weird. Like, what? Like, who says that? Especially at that age. Like, he's in his 20s. What do you mean? Like, you would go into it thinking he never slept with anyone. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I just wouldn't think that's what you would think. Because, of course, you're going to just assume they did.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's better that way than assuming they didn't and then finding out they did. And then it's like, what?
Right.
Now, if it was like a one-night stand, then okay, like that's clearly out of the blue, but they were in a relationship. So I would just assume you would already have thought of that,
Mm-hmm.
that they did more than just kissing.
Right.
That was weird to me. I was like, but you knew they were together. So that was odd.
Right.
Or
And
is she just mad that he lost his virginity to her? Like,
yeah, probably more than that.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird though. I'm like, yeah, you're 18. Like, what? And he's in his 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it for a second.
Right. And then at the river court, Jamie tells Skills that it's been a month and he hasn't even talked to Lauren. And he asks him tells him to ask her to the dance tonight, and Skills says he's good. And
okay, yeah, Skills is supposed to ask Lauren to the dance, to a 5-year-old's dance.
Right.
Like, yeah, that would be awesome. Not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's not even, like, he doesn't have any students at the school that's, even his. So there would be no, initial reason why he would even go or think about going.
Yeah, like, if you're not the parent, then, like, why would you be there?
Yeah, because, like, with adults, it's kind of like Lauren's only there because it's her job, So
right, she wouldn't be there otherwise.
Yeah, so that's definitely not like a date event.
Well, even if you did have a kid there, it still wouldn't be like date worthy. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, just don't even think about it.
Right. And then so Skills asks the boys if they all have dates, and Andre says he doesn't, because Q always said don't bring sand to the beach, whatever that.
Oh, don't you love that they're on the river court?
Yeah, because it's like the new generation.
Yeah, like, I love it because Skills brought all the little kids to the river court. It's just so cute because, yeah, I mean, we've always only saw the core there. And so to see the little ones there, it was so cute. Because all we've ever saw, though, was Jamie with them. But, like, now it's Jamie's friends. And it's Andre. He's there. It's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Again, why couldn't we keep him? That just drives me nuts. Every time I see him, it just drives me nuts because here could be your next 4. No, I don't like it. That we just cut it to, let's just keep 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So Skills asks Jamie if he has a date, and that's when Madison walks up.
Yeah, and Chuck was like, you're gonna ask Madison.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes and asks Madison. How do you pick on someone and then you go and ask her?
Right.
How do you do that? Just like, what? Also, it just shows you once again that Chuck is not his friend because he's a bully.
Mm-hmm.
Because only a bully would do that.
Yeah, but Jamie did say that he wasn't going to ask her, so.
I know, but you could tell that your friend likes her. You don't like her. Your friend likes her. He only did it because Jamie likes her. He didn't do it because he likes Madison. Like, it was definitely a bully move. And that's just what Chuck is.
Right.
It's still weird that they're friends.
Mm-hmm. And then Skill, tells Jamie that he thought he liked Madison, and Jamie says he's not going to be the only guy at the dance with a date, which is something a boy usually doesn't say, at least older boys.
I know, he's 5. He's 5.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's when having crushes and all that is embarrassing, apparently, for them, yeah. And Jamie says that Skills was the one that said women are no good, and Skills corrects him, saying that he meant meaning Deb was no good.
Yeah, yeah. Pause for a second. What Skills? I was like, Skills. You do realize that that's his grandma?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you gonna tell him that his grandma is no good? What? I was like, it's not okay. Even if it was his nanny, you don't say that because, like, what? And then on top of it, it's not just his nanny, it's his grandma. So I'm like, how are you gonna say his grandma's no good? I was like, what?
Right.
How do you on what planet do you tell him that? Like, you know how much people are telling Jamie, and then he gets to hear this. Like, how do you pull it up? How does Jamie, a 5-year-old, pull it apart from like that was his relationship with her to this is my grandma?
Mm-hmm.
Because think if you had told a kid that your grandma's no good, they would probably believe that. So it's and then they would probably tell their parents, and then that's when their parents would then go to Skills and be like, what did you just say?
Right.
It's weird how it's never brought up to Skills from like Nathan of what did you say to my kid?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when he talked about Dan? It's not repeated about Deb being no good. It's just weird. Like a kid would do that. They would. So it's just weird how we're gonna act like Jamie is Skills' age, and he's not. He's 5.
Right.
Like the writers are definitely writing to older, like a teenager, where they could separate the two. But Jamie he's 5. He's 5. A 5-year-old does not know that.
Yeah, and then he can repeat it to his parents too.
That's what I'm saying. How does he not say it? And then Nathan goes, what? Where did you hear that? Like about Dan, remember? He brought up with Dan. And you don't then go to Skills and be like, okay, listen, you want to, see my kid? Fine. But like, there's things you say and don't say. I feel like Nathan's already had that speech with them. And he still is continuing. Like, sometimes you got to be the grown up and you just don't say these things. And then sometimes you can be his friend, but like some things are off limits. And if you're going to talk about, his grandma, you definitely shouldn't say those things.
Yeah.
Because again, he's not your friend. Like he's 5. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure Keith wasn't talking trash about, like Karen to Lucas when he was 5. It's just weird.
Yeah. And then Skills says, who cares what people think? He's a leader, so if he wants to ask her, he should go for it. And then Lucas is fixing Peyton's car when he finds a concert ticket for the cure. And then we get that flashback of, right after graduation.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
What the like?
I was so out of this episode, or not this episode, but like these Lucas and Peyton scenes. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Lucas and Peyton, you know that, but it's the whole thing of reality. And I get that it's a TV show, but if you're going to do a flashback, it needs to look like a flashback. It cannot look like you just made this, right here now. Like, no. Why does the wig look such like a wig? Like, okay, and again, like if you're going to do a flashback, it has to look like back then. So what, 4 years ago? It has to look like that. It also has to, it just has to be more realistic. And that's not clearly what she looked like 4 years ago. Her hair was not that blonde. And it was definitely too curly because it was a wig. Yeah, like if you're not going to be able to recreate them back then, you should not be doing these scenes. I feel like it was I don't know what to do with Lucas and Peyton. Like, we can't just have her sitting around on the couch or the bed. So let's do flashbacks. Like, no, they have to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't.
Right.
So yeah, it took me out of the scene. Also, I'm not gonna lie, it seemed like with the acting was more of the acting of what they would do right now in their situation versus what they would do back when they were 19. Like about her maybe dying. Because the last flashback when he says something, I forgot what he says, something about like, oh, like, I don't know, you're gonna be a mom and all. And if you look at her face, it's it's not what she would have done when she was 19, because she never would have thought this would have happened when she was 19 years old. So that the acting part in that scene also took me out, because I'm like, that was a right now situation, because Hillary knows what is going on in the situation with Luke and Peyton right now. If you're going to do a flashback, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I was just like, just thrown out from this whole entire thing. Also, yeah, every little thing that Lucas is saying in these flashbacks, yeah, we're supposed to, it's just so coincidental that it's everything that's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on now. Like, maybe one thing that you have said, would maybe relate to something now, but not every goddamn thing you're saying is going to be relatable to your situation right now. It's just not. And also, who remembers what they said 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Especially a guy. What guy remembers something from 4 years ago? Like, the whole entire scene, everything that he said, it's just weird. Like, it doesn't happen like that. So it threw me out of the dang scene, because you're not catching me up. Like, when they did the flashbacks in season 5 to catch you up on everything that's happened because of the time jump, that was a little more realistic, because we needed to know what happened in the last 4 years. But I don't need to know what happened, because I don't believe it, because it wasn't needed. Like, it wasn't needed to tell me what's going on in their relationship right this moment. That flashback. A flashback really only needs to happen if you're trying to fill the hole in a story. But they weren't. So it wasn't needed. So I just feel like it was a filler, because they didn't know what to do with Lucas and Peyton. So it was just took me out. I mean,
Well,
you liked it all?
Well, maybe it was just to show the progress of the relationship and how far they've come. And, that was apparently going to be the last conversation they had about their future, because it went downhill after that when they did their long distance. But yeah, it did seem somewhat like a filler. You can kind of tell when writers or creators or whoever like add new information like this, kind of like out of nowhere. That doesn't seem like it fit, like it should.
Right. Because if it was something about, something of like the baby, or maybe it was something she may have found something about herself or whatever back when she was 19, like about her health or something that could trigger this, like that would be something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like they just like it was like a not, because she's thinking all day long, that now it came to her like, wait a minute, was this little sickness I had, was that relatable? Because if you literally are going stir crazy, that's what you're going to think. Like, did the flu cause me to have? It's just like, that'd be more relatable. And maybe a flashback, but not this. It wasn't needed. I did not need that at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was also too much of it. Like, if you want to do it, fine. Make it a 5-second flashback, but there was a bunch of it and they went too long. I didn't need it. It was weird.
Right. Because and then it was only Lucas remembering, right? It wasn't even Peyton too. That would make a little more sense.
Yep.
If they were both reminiscing.
Yeah, because he found the Kier ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats, you found it. We know she loves music. You don't have to give us a flashback of it.
Mm-hmm.
All he had to do is say, remember. All you had to do is take it to her, and then she could have done the same scene she did, which is say, oh, remember the concert we never went to? Wow, we did not need a flashback for that. She answered it. They talked about it in present day. You did not need a flashback of it. That was my other thing. If you were going to do a flashback, okay, but then they shouldn't be talking about it. You know what I mean? Like when she said the whole thing, their whole scenes, she just basically said in like a sentence by saying the concert we never went to. Wow, did I need a scene, a flashback of it? No, because she just said it. So him showing her that ticket, she answered. I didn't need to see it. I didn't. We also, yeah, I just didn't really care for it. It was too much.
Yeah, they could have shortened it down. Like he gives her the ticket for graduation, a graduation gift, and then they go to the diner, and that's how they lost the ticket. Like show like a little 5-minute part like that, or less than that even. It would have been enough. So then Nathan goes to see Bobby, and Bobby tells him that he has an offer for the European team, and the money's really good.
Here's the thing. He tells Nathan, like, because Nathan's like, when do they need to know? And he goes, well, tomorrow they'll be thinking of somebody else. I'm sorry, but I'm sure they already have a list of who they want. And as you say no, they're just checking you off the list. Because it's probably like the draft. They have a list of all the people they want. And as they go through the order, when they get a no, they cross it off and go to the next person. They already have who they want, let's just say. And so for him to say, well, they'll think of someone tomorrow. They're already probably thinking of people today. They just happened to call Nathan today. And so my thing is like with this is like, yeah, it's a great opportunity, but I don't feel that he should listen to this coach, because here's my thing. Like sometimes there are people that can give you amazing advice that changes your life. I get that, but I don't think this coach is one of them. And the reason is because when he offered Nathan the coaching job, he told Nathan, your basketball days are over. You'll never get into the NFL. He said that. Maybe not those words, but he meant it. And because that's when he said, you're more of a coach. Like nobody recovers from your accident. And so my thing is, if somebody had said that to me, and then now they're telling me this is a great opportunity, you need to take this. Really, you're also the same person that said I would never recover. I would never basically be at my best again. You said that. You said all I'll ever be is a coach. So why would I listen to you? You know what I mean? Like all he's ever done is prove this coach wrong. So why would you listen to this coach to begin with? That was my thing was, again, maybe if it was like a Whitey telling you, obviously you probably will take it more because it's Whitey. But you're not going to listen to this coach because he's just a coach. He's not someone that's going to change your life. Like, yeah, he let you on the team. But again, he also told you you'd never make it to, like, he laughed at you basically for it, for dreaming of it. So that's where I have the whole thing of, no, Nathan, please don't listen to this coach because he doesn't know much.
Right.
Because he kind of does. He has like that look of like he's gonna like listen to him, and I don't think he should.
Yeah, well, he first declines it because he's only focused on the NBA and not Europe. So then Bobby keeps pushing him, and then that's when he, thinks about it more.
I know, but that's what I mean is when Bobby keeps pushing him. Like, he should not listen to a word Bobby says because Bobby is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like he keeps, pushing him like, no, you'll never get they won't be calling. It's like, how do you know? You don't know what they're thinking. Did they tell you that? Like, it's just weird. I don't like how pushy Bobby was.
Mm-hmm. And then Sam is with Victoria, and she says how lame her life is because she only has friends who are, that's a 5-year-old and her foster ring, which you
Foster.
never hear. Mm-hmm.
That was hilarious. When she's a foster granny, I about fell out of the chair. It was hilarious.
And Victoria tells her language as if that was a bad word.
Well, it is for her. Remember, she don't want to be called mother, let alone granny.
Mm-hmm. And then Victoria tells Sam that she is a young lady, so she needs to look like one.
Yeah, she says language because she don't want to be called young.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing. This is the only reason why she's taking her shopping, because she thinks she looks homeless or something. Because she doesn't look like the high little standard she's supposed to look like, like the rich life, like the Hilton life, like something Victoria wants her to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, she's dressing like Sam wants to dress. Like, what? I don't think the way Sam's dressing is wrong. That's her style. What? But I think that's the only reason why she's really taking her shopping, because she kind of even says it, like, you need a new wardrobe. And it's like, no, she doesn't.
Yeah, and Sam says that Brooke would freak out if she knew that they were hanging out, and Victoria says that, she'll learn that she can't pick her daughter's friends. That's a lesson she likes to call the Peyton Sawyer debacle.
Again, why does she hate Peyton so much? I still will never understand this.
Yeah, and like Sam, yeah.
Like, if anything, Peyton has kind of helped make her better. I think Haley was the one that truly made her better. But I do think Peyton was a part of it.
Right. And then they're about to go into a store, but Sam says she can't go into that store because she was caught shoplifting there. So now we know that Clothes Over Rose wasn't the first and only store she stole from.
But apparently she didn't attack this person. Like she did to Brooke.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was casually, like, it wasn't her plan. She just said that Brooke needed to learn a lesson, and it got away from her because she didn't know what Jack was doing behind her back.
Do you know what I thought was weird? And Victoria said, do you know how much Clothes Over Bros lost last year because of shoplifting? She's also talking to the person that shoplifted and returned the clothes to get the money.
Right. But she doesn't know that, right?
No. She know. Last episode, Sam told her that she stole from Clothes Over Bros and attacked Brooke. But I think maybe Victoria brushed that off as, you're just joking. I don't know if she ever really took it seriously.
Or maybe that she thought maybe Sam learned her lesson and never did it again, or before then.
But again, now she's telling her, you know how much Clothes Over Bros. Well, obviously she don't know how much that was lost, because she also did it and then returned the clothes and got money for it. It was just so funny, because I was like, Victoria, you do know she did it to Clothes Over Bros. You know that. She told you. And that's why I don't know if she's trying to, like, just act like, oh, she didn't do it. Like, if she totally forgot. But how do you forget that when somebody says that? Like, they stole money from your business. I mean, how do you just forget that part? Because keep in mind, when she did it, Victoria was in charge. So that's what was weird.
And so when Victoria was lecturing Sam, she had a grip on her arm, telling her she's a member of the family now.
I was like, whoa. That grip was too much, I feel like.
Yeah, she tells Sam that thief is common and they don't do common. And then Victoria actually asks, why did she do it? And Sam guesses she got a high from it. Victoria tells her to find another high.
And she goes, okay, your words. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But did you hear? But what did you think though when Victoria said, "You are a member of this family now"?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I didn't know she was really a part of your family, Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
Because Brooke's not really.
Right.
Like she doesn't want to be.
Right. So Victoria reassures Sam that if the salesperson wants her out, she'll have to deal with her. And then Jamie walks over to sit with Madison at the picnic table. And Jamie opens up with, nice day for carrot sticks. And then says, speaking of the dance, even though it wasn't mentioned, does she want to go with him? And then that's when she says that, she would like to, but Chuck asked her first.
Yeah, and Chuck is just over there like slapping hands, like, yeah, I got her. It's like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you don't even like her.
Right. And then Mia just casually asks Haley if she knew that Chase lost his virginity to Brooke. And Haley laughs and says she did. And she figures out Mia didn't know this by the look on her face. And she just says, welcome to Tree Hill.
That part was funny.
Yeah, she challenges her to find a boy that didn't lose his virginity to Brooke Davis. And Mia's like, well, she's Brooke Davis. And Haley tells her that, yeah, and she's Mia Consolano. And Mia says that she's Brooke Davis, just repeating it. And Haley repeats back that she's Mia, and they're getting off the train. And Mia says she feels stupid, like everyone knew but her. And Haley says she can relate because Nathan lost his virginity to her sister. So Mia admits that she wins.
Well, and she also found out when she was married to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is even worse. Yeah, it's worse because you can't. It was a little harder if she wanted to end the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
because like if you're just dating, you could be like, well, bye. But like when you're married, it's like, oh, gotta get divorce papers.
Right. And, Haley reassures her that she knows the way Chase looks at her. And he probably didn't tell her because he's not thinking about anybody but her. And then Lucas finds a map now in Payne's car and remembers when they were making their way to the concert. And Payne jokes that she's a high school graduate but can't read a map. And apparently they have to still go 6 hours.
I feel like that's a lot of people that can't read a map.
Yeah, I mean,
because now you just go to Google Maps and it tells you exactly how to get there.
Right, yeah. Because did you ever learn?
I mean, maybe in elementary, we probably learned a quick little version and a kid version of a map, but like, not really. No one really taught us because, again, everything, once we got to like middle school, a lot of stuff was online.
Mm-hmm.
That like the courses that they were coming up with, like we weren't really taught paper stuff, and we never really had a geography class. Really, I mean, when you think about it,
right? It was just in history classes,
right? And it was history of like American history or U.S. or world history. It wasn't geography. It wasn't like, how do you read a map? And even geography, because we did have like in 7th grade, it was again learning about the states. Like, here's the map of the 50 states. It wasn't, how do you look at a map? How do you read a map? It was, here's the map of the states. Now color the picture. Like it was like that kind of thing. It didn't have anything to do with reading a map. And then by the time we got to high school, we had technology to help you.
Right, math class.
So, well, because then that's when they had those GPS ones that you could put it in your car. And it wasn't your phone, but it was another device, and you put it in your car, and that's how you would get to your destination. Like I remember in freshman year when we went to Florida, we put the GPS on and it told you how to get there. So, and that was even freshman year, we had the GPS. So I'm sure it came out way before that. Because like we never had like the newest of the new because it was always so expensive. So I'm sure the GPS came out years before that.
Right.
So yeah, we were not the generation that was reading maps. So when Peyton says it, it's like, oh, that's so realistic because there are so many people that don't know how to read a map because we never learned and we never really had to learn. That's why maybe in elementary, when we probably didn't have the internet to rely on, but I think even then it was like a kid version of a map.
Right.
It wasn't teaching you how to read one. It was just showing you a map. I think even then it was like, so on this map, it's like, where's our state? And maybe that's all it was. It wasn't anything deeper than that.
Right.
It wasn't, how do you get to California? You know, what roads do you take? And how long do you think it'll take to get you there? It wasn't anything like that.
Yeah, I think we only had to like measure miles from one city to another, like, and that was it.
Yeah, so they weren't really teaching you about the map and how to read it. That's why when it's like, oh, just bring a map with you. It's like, if you know how to read one. But again, now we just rely so much on our phone about it where you don't have to know, and you don't really have to know anything, really, because with the phone, you can just look it up.
Right.
That's why it's kind of crazy now.
And then they're in the flashback teasing each other about, this and that. And that's when Peyton says that she got him a graduation gift too. She ended up sending his book, The Ravens, to publishers in New York. And he says she feted him, so that's brought up again.
Yeah, but I feel like we already know that part.
Did we? Because it was never really mentioned how he got started, I don't think.
No, I think Peyton told Brooke or something back in season 5. Like it wasn't, like we already knew that part. So it was weird to hear. I'm like, I literally learned nothing from their flashbacks. And flashbacks are usually supposed to tell you something that you didn't know.
Yeah, so Payne says that she knows he was afraid, and someone once told her that your art matters, and he's not going to get off that easy with a thank you either. When they turned the novel into a movie, which is ironic considering that they almost did, but didn't at the last, after so much progress. Even, well, they didn't film anything, but still. And he says that they're going to, cast somebody hot to play her. And he says only if he can play himself, then he'll do it. And then that's when the car pulls a tire. And at the store, Victoria asks Sam where Julian is, and Sam answers LA and thinks Brooke wanted to go. And, she did, because it was the closest she's ever come to a real family. And then Victoria tries to make Brooke look bad by saying, like, she's sorry Brooke didn't think of her. Her daughter can be selfish, and Sam reminds her that she can't be talking negative about Brooke.
I thought it was funny when the lady that works there, when she was following Victoria around because of Sam, and Victoria's like, what are you doing and stuff, and like, shouldn't you be following other people around and stuff, and obviously it's because of Sam, and she finally steps in and was like sticking up for her, and it was like, for like Samantha to apologize, and she says sorry about the shoplifting thing, it won't happen again. And it was funny because Victoria's like, satisfied, now go back to being completely and utterly incompetent at your job. Like, how is she incompetent? She knows she stole.
Right.
Like, what? And then she says, Like then she was like talking about like that one girl was like ready to steal and stuff, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was funny when Sam's like, why are you such a bitch? And then she goes, this bitch just offended you.
Right.
She said, a thank you would be nice. It's like, I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm. And then Sam asks her again, like, why is she such a bitch? And Victoria jokes that maybe she gets a high from it. And Sam says that she stopped shoplifting, so maybe she could stop being mean. And then that's when they run
Victoria.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, she shakes her head at them and just keeps walking. And then Brooke tells Peyton later that she told Victoria no bonding and to keep her old lady talons away from Sam. And they were having a, you know, trio shopping spree still. And she looks at the B. Davis magazine on the bed and says she wants to throw it across the room. And Peyton says maybe this is because she's hormonal, or maybe she's been locked in a room for so long and lost, you know, touch with reality. But the worst thing, like, is it the worst thing in the world for Mom Zilla to be nice to Sam?
She says yes. And then she said yes. And she finally admits that it was because Victoria never took her shopping.
Right.
But again, if Brooke knew why she was taking her shopping, because Victoria doesn't like what she's wearing, it's like, you know, maybe she'd feel better about herself.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan goes to see Bobby, who is looking at who can take his place in the team. And Nathan says that Devin could, but Bobby asks if Nathan is there to talk about Devin or the European offer, and Nathan says both. So he asks Bobby if he thinks he's good enough to make it to the NBA, and Bobby tells him.
Yeah, but it's more than just talent; it's timing and luck.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when he's like, "You have an offer on the table."
Right.
Like it doesn't come every day. Well, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And then Haley and Mia are at the label when Nick pops up. And Mia's like fangirling, and, you know, he knows who she is too. And Haley points out that she was right, saying Mia was a somebody. And Nick asks Haley, you know, what's the guy got to do to get her on his album? And she says, when the label said if they had an artist who was interested, she, you know, didn't picture him, of course. And Mia just keeps calling Nick by his first name to Haley and has her leave.
Yeah, she was funny.
Mm-hmm. Her full name, I mean.
Yeah, Nick Lachey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's his name.
Right. Then Mia leaves, and Nathan asks Haley, you know, what are the magic words? Because he wants her to say yes. And he's listened to the last songs, and hers is great. And she tells him that, you know, her song wasn't supposed to be one of them. Hers album, the label screwed up, you know, so they, like, her song wasn't even on the table to be sold, so he wasn't supposed to hear it. And Nick says that he's glad that they did. And Haley says she's flattered that he came all the way there to talk to her, but there's no magic words. The answer is no. And Nick says, you know, like, would it help if, you know, he said he had a really tough flight. And Haley still turns him down, though.
Yeah, it was funny because she's like, I'm not interested in selling my music. But would you sign this for my son? I was like, oh my God. She said he's a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it was funny.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably in like real life, like, no.
Mm-hmm. And then in the flashback again, Peyton and Lucas talk about how Nathan and Haley are married with a baby, you know, and they're so young. And Lucas says he thinks they were ready to get married and have a baby on their second date, you know, joking. And,
well, what I thought was weird was that Peyton was like, oh, she hates it. She's going to miss like Jamie growing up. That he's going to be walking and everything before she sees him. Before she sees him. And I was like, Peyton, you don't even see him now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposedly his aunt. Like, It's weird. Like, again, you would think dating Lucas, you would spend more time with Jamie. But no, it's just weird. That's why Peyton and Jamie in the last 2 seasons have not really bonded. And so it's weird. Like, here's a flashback of her being like, I miss like basically everything of him. And it's like, you don't seem to care now. Like, it's not like, oh my God, I have all of this to make up for. Like Brooke kind of was of like, oh, he's so little, but he's like, bigger than she saw him. And, she at least got to know him. And Peyton has not. So it's weird. I'm like, you don't even care to know Jamie. What are you talking about? So that's also why I didn't like that part of the scene either, because it's not relevant. She does not care about little Jamie. Sorry, but it's not what I've seen.
Yeah, so she just says that Luke and him are going to be amazing parents. Lucas tells her she's going to be an amazing mom too.
Again, why are we talking about this?
And then present time, Jamie asks Skills what does Chuck have that he doesn't have. And Skills says better timing and a date with Madison. And they're drinking root beers, and Jamie says he doesn't get it because he thought him and Madison had an unspoken connection. And Skills says there's nothing that is unspoken with women. He can't let this thing with Madison ruin the dance tonight. And Jamie says he's not, or it's not because he's not going. And
it was weird. I thought it was weird that Skills was like, you have to go to your first dance because it will follow you through the rest of the school. I was like, what? I was so confused. I'm like, he's 5. If he misses this dance, who the hell cares? Like, I was so confused. I'm like, what are you talking about, Skills? Like, who even remembers when they were the 5? Like, every little thing. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, whatever, Skills. Like, even if you miss a dance when you're in middle school, it doesn't matter. Like, it does not define you the rest of your life. So I thought that was weird that Skills would even say that. But plus, I never had a dance when I was 5. Did you? So what? Like, what is this? Also, I'm sorry, but like Chuck, I feel like is too tall to be 5. I'm just saying. He looks more like he's 8.
So Skills asks, if he's just going to sit on the couch, and Jamie asks, is he just going to sit around and pout about being dead? Bringing it back to him.
Well, he should, because last episode, all Skills did was go on about how Mouth needs to, like rethink his relationship with Millie, even though they broke up way after Skills and Nib. And then now he's pushing it on Jamie, and it's like, when are you going to look at your own relationship and your own life instead of push others on other people? It's kind of annoying. Plus, again, like for Mouth and Millie, they were together longer than Deb and Skills. So it's weird. Like, you know what I mean? Why are you pushing others together when, again, look at your own life, and you either have to get over Deb or something. I mean, you can't just keep doing this, pushing everybody together that maybe shouldn't be together.
Yeah, so Jamie says he's going to pout about Madison, and Skills says if he wants to do something that he's doing, because he's going to the dance right now, then he should. And then a little bit later, they walk out all dressed up in their suits and ties and starting like they're spies on a mission. So, for being a 5-year-old dance, they're kind of dressed to the nines, it seems.
Yeah, like how many 5-year-olds have a suit?
Well, I'm thinking it might just be Jamie's suit that he had for Lindsay and Lucas's wedding, or maybe it's it's the same Quinn's funeral even, so maybe that's what it was.
But I can tell you that wouldn't be accurate. Because kids grow out of clothes in a couple months. Like, you can't put them in clothes this summer and then have it, 6 months later. No, they grow. And so if he had this for Lucas's wedding, he would have already outgrown it. So even that doesn't make sense. Because the suit he had then fit him, which would mean it wasn't like they bought something that would fit him a year later. So that wouldn't make any sense.
And then they're at the dance at the punch bowl table, and Jamie tells Skills, like, this is killing him to see Madison with Chuck. And Skills, just says at least the punch is good. And meanwhile, Nathan talks to Devon. He says his wife, just had a little girl. And he told himself he'd be caught up by the time she got there. And Nathan tells him he's sorry, and Devon tells him it's not his fault.
All I know is he had some big plans that by the time the baby is born, he'd get a call. Like, that's kind of pushing it. And then to beat yourself up because it didn't happen by the time the baby was born, that's a little, like, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Like, you're going to make yourself miserable if that's what you have in mind. You know what I mean? Not like that's how life goes, but like having the mindset up, it did not go, as planned by the time the baby happened. Like, what?
Yeah, well, at least he's taken, I can't think of the word, but at least he's accountability, yeah. At least he's doing that, now that he's seen that how bad he was, treating everybody on the team, acting like he was a star and everything. So that's why he says it's his fault, because he was acting like that. And that's what got him kicked off the team. And he says that if he could do it again, he'd do things differently. And he tells Nathan not to throw his shot away. And then Brooke walks into the store and says the broom's not parked outside, so she guesses Victoria isn't there. And again, the beginning of this magazine, she sees a magazine again and says she'll do some filing. And then that's when she sees the only half-shredded piece of mail from Sam's birth mom sticking out of the machine. So Victoria, I guess, was that thoughtless and just left it there for Brooke to see. And so Brooke
I find it weird that she actually cared enough to open up like one letter to see who this is from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a little odd because it could have been from, an old neighbor, an old friend. Like, it could have been from anyone. So the fact that she actually opened up the first one to know who it's from is a little weird to me, isn't it to you? Like, Victoria cared that much about Sam that she would, or even Brooke, that she would open up a letter to see who it was from. Like, it's weird. Again, she's been through how many foster homes? It could have been any foster kid that she may have grown up with that was writing to her. It's weird that she opened it up.
Right.
I think maybe she would just maybe keep the letters, but maybe not. I don't know. It's just weird that she would even open them up to see who it was from. Because it doesn't say on there, from your birth mother.
Right.
So that was weird.
And then Lucas is still working on the comment, thinking about another flashback of that same day.
My God.
When they're at the diner. And then
where they dine and dash.
Yeah. But also, it was kind of a weird placement of how Lucas says that he's amazed at how much food she's eating. It's like she's eating for two, and then he questions if she's actually doing that.
That's what I'm saying. All these flashbacks were about her being pregnant, being a mother, everything that's happening right now. It makes no sense. It just doesn't. Again, you may say one thing, but you're not going to keep hounding them. It makes no sense.
Right. And then, so that's when Lucas gets the idea to dine and dash and pays the waitress to act like she's chasing after them. And paying, it's a getaway driver. So they have a blast like that. And he only gives her a 5 too. Which I thought that was, it's still something, but you'd think that he would maybe give her something more. And that's when they lose one of the tickets as well for the concert. And that's why they didn't go. And then back at the dance, Andre's walking up to the punch table, and Jamie asks if he wants to leave and get some ice cream. So Andre tells him he's sorry, but he met someone.
That was funny. I met someone. It's like, okay, so for him, he's loving the dance.
And then Skills tells Jamie that there's a lot of girls out there he could be having fun with, and Jamie asks, what does he have to try? He's not. And
okay, as there's a girl sitting right there.
Yeah.
It was so annoying.
Right.
Like, didn't Nathan and Haley teach him to, care about others. So he's gonna be Nathan and just stick in his little clique and not like think of somebody else. Yeah, so annoying. Like he was definitely like a little Nathan there of like, there's a girl sitting right there, but I'm not gonna look at her at all. Okay.
And then Jamie makes fun of Skills for not talking to Lauren as well, saying he's a chicken. So Jamie tells him to prove that he's not. So Skills puts his drink down and goes to talk to her. And then Nathan gets home and Haley tells him he missed Jamie on his way out to the dance. He was so cute in his suit.
And he looked like a little Lucas. Again, another reference, the fact that he's definitely Lucas's twin.
And that's when Nathan tells her that he got that offer to play in Europe. It's good money, 2-year contract. And Haley's confused because she thought he wanted to play in the NBA. And Nathan says, she's right, but tells her that, this is an opportunity that every other person on his team, would want.
Yeah, so they should think about it and that the NBA might not call.
Right.
And I thought this was weird. When she says, what if you take this and the NBA calls? And I was like, I feel like if you took this, the NBA wouldn't call because you're already contracted with them. I thought that was odd. I was like, why would you say that? Like, I just feel like in real life, they would be like, okay, Nathan Scott is off the table. We'll move on to somebody else for the NBA. I feel like they wouldn't even look at you anymore or offer you anything because you're contracted to this team. So I thought that was weird when she said that. And then he responded back, well, what if they don't? And it's like, I'm still confused at why the NBA would contact you at all if you did take the offer. Like, I just feel like in, reality, they wouldn't do it.
Right.
Because they have so many other people to look at. Why would they look at you? You already took the offer.
Right.
So that's what's weird. Unless it was like like you found out after you took it that, they were interested in you. That would be more like it than they offered you. Because that would not make any sense.
Right. And then Nick is at Trick having a drink and asks Chase, what does he call it again? And Chase answered the Chaser, right? After his name.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Nick said it's like just a Long Island iced tea or something.
Yeah, and a bad one too. So apparently he hasn't improved since his first time making it with Mia teaching him. And then that's when Mia walks up and right there and then tells, why didn't you tell me that you lost your virginity, Brooke? And Nick says he didn't even know she was looking, at Chase because he asked, who said he was a virgin. And Mia says Payne Twitter and that it should have been him. And Chase, says that losing your virginity, isn't really something a guy brings up to his girl, which is true. And Nick adds, or himself. But then again, his premiere starred Brooke Davis, and Mia tells Nick to stay out of it.
Nick Lachey, that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, every time. And then Nick asks Chase what Brooke's been up to, and because he knows her from, I guess, her fashion line and all that. And then Victoria walks into the store.
I think they may have went out on this show once.
Because there wasn't Victoria saying that she needed to date a Nick, like any Nick or something like that in season 5 at the beginning. And then Brooke tells Victoria that she really outbitched herself this time and holds up the shredded letter from Sam's birth bomb and tells her to explain why she tried destroying it. And it says, no, actually don't, because she's sure just be, more self-serving, BS.
Well, but then she does explain that, she says, we could lose Samantha. And it's like, and she's like, we.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Do you realize that in this episode, Brooke calls her Samantha because she really only called her Samantha when she was yelling at her. And then it was just always Sam, 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 Sam. And now she goes back to Samantha and she's not even yelling at her. It was weird.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but because what Victoria's calling her Samantha, you are? It was weird.
Right. So Victoria's, saying that they've gotten close and, her birth mom gave her up. And, she made the mistakes a long time ago and it's a little late to show up now.
Yeah, I don't know, like Victoria.
Mm-hmm. And, Brooks, can't believe that she's saying this. Like, she questions if she's actually being punked. And Victoria says this is different. Like, she never abandoned her. And Brooks says not physically, and maybe that's worse.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And Victoria tells Brooke she destroyed those letters for her. She sees how much Sam means to her. And Brooke tells her not to do that because she's never done anything for her before. And if this is about her trying to have some do-over with Sam because she screwed up with her, it's really obvious and pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
And just yells at her to stop and then adds that she never took her shopping and storms out of the store.
Which is really all Brooke cares about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's weird that you would think that Victoria would, care about Sam so quickly and the way that she did to do this, showing the letter when not that long ago she told Brooke she didn't, want a kid at all. So apparently she wants a grandkid.
That's why I'm wondering if it's to get back at Brooke. Like, I'm going to take the one person that means the most to her right now, and I'm going to use it against Brooke because Brooke does not want me to be with her. So let me just spend all my time with her, and it will make Brooke upset. Maybe that's why.
Right.
I don't know, because Victoria is not that nice to just be like, let's go shopping. Let's have a girls' day.
Mm-hmm.
She's not that person.
Right.
Also, I do think she likes that Sam is outspoken and will tell her the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I think she likes that, where everybody else is like afraid of her.
Right.
Maybe that's also why she likes her.
Mm-hmm. And then not Nathan, I keep saying Nathan, but Nick goes back to the studio to convince Haley again to give him her song. But she says that he just got there in time because she has the instrumental track for him and he can record it now.
But she wants to be the producer on it.
Right. Yeah, so that was a compromise there. Yeah, so is it weird that Haley is producing more than actually being the artist herself?
Yeah, like how did she even know how to produce in the first place?
I mean, Peyton could have taught her, maybe to also kind of help, with everything with Mia when she couldn't anymore with her pregnancy,
But I guess if you think about it, she takes over the label next season. So yeah. I guess they're preparing the transition right now without really speaking of it. Like without telling the audience, they're kind of doing it themselves.
Right, or Hillary. And then meanwhile, Nathan is on the phone saying he turned down the offer to Bobby, and Bobby knows this because he just got off the phone with the scout. And Nathan tells him that he's going to the NBA, and Bobby says that the European League missed out on a great player, and he hopes the NBA doesn't. And then Nathan tells Bobby that he told the scout about Devin, though. He's a good player. He just made a mistake.
And he goes, I told him the same thing. It was nice.
Yeah. And then back at the dance, Lauren teases Skills about crashing a 5-year-old's dance, and Skills says he was hoping to see her because he wanted to ask her out, but was hesitant because he just got out of a relationship. And she says she has too. So neither one of them should be dating, and he says probably not, And then that's when he asks her to dance with him, and she says no at first, but then said she could actually go for some rebound sex, because of the kids being around.
Yeah, and Skills is like, ooh, like just kidding.
Yeah, which is risky. And then they do dance in the middle of the 5-year-olds, which was funny and cute. And then Haley likes Nick's voice in the song. Oh yeah, we said that right. Yeah, so produced. And then Brooke gets home, and Sam tells her she's sorry for sneaking around with the mom, and she's not really bad once to get past the bitch of it all. And Brooke says she's worse, and that's when she shows her the letter. And Yeah, so it's from her birth mother, and Sam just, says she doesn't want to, basically doesn't want to read it or anything.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about when Nick is singing the song.
Mm-hmm.
Did on Drama Queens, did Joy talk about this part, like Nick coming on the show?
Yeah.
And like, what's her reaction to it? Because like she gets to basically watch him sing, even though I know it's already like pre-recorded and stuff, but like she got to sit there and watch it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't really that I remember. It's just, I think maybe Hillary asked Joy if that was actually her song, and she said no, but it was a song that I think ended up on his album in real life, I think. So it was like a whole music thing for him that he was getting. Like, it was like publicity for him, basically, in his singing career, really. But
Well,
yeah.
I figured it was because it was already pre-recorded and everything, so obviously. But I'm just saying, like, for her to like sit back and see him like do his thing, even though I know it's already recorded, but like, I just feel like that would be so cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
So because if you think of somebody of like our time being able to like sit there and like watch that, it would just be so cool. And the fact
Mm-hmm.
that she's the one that got like that one-on-one time, like Peyton wasn't getting that. So I just think that was so cool. And I just wondered if she had said anything about that.
Yeah, so Brooke is, being, a good person and trying to, tell Sam that maybe it's not like the worst thing. She got the letter from her birth mom. Maybe it's, just to say she's sorry and all that. But, Sam doesn't want any of it. And because, she should have said it right there every time she sat in the coffee shop. They're calling it a coffee shop now, but that was more of a diner. But anyways.
Yeah, but like here's the thing. She was at work, first of all. Maybe she didn't know how to wrap her head around it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what am I gonna say to her? Like, she probably hates me. I mean, that would be tough.
Yeah, and then we don't even know if she even knew that was Sam to begin with, because we never see her even like acknowledge Sam.
Right.
Like she doesn't take her order or anything, doesn't like just even look at her from across the way. So we had no interaction at all until this moment, really.
Right. So she might not even have known she was really there because maybe that wasn't her table she was at.
Mm-hmm.
So she might not have ever really got a chance to talk to her to say anything. Plus, she's on the clock. So if she would have maybe said something to Sam, her boss probably would have been like, "Hey, get back to work." Like, you got customers to take care of. Like, so maybe she just didn't know how to say it or find the time to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was at work and maybe Sam just threw her off every time of like being there.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe when she got the courage, Sam stopped going there because she was with Brooke. So it was like, what do I do now? And she clearly found Brooke to write these letters to
Mm-hmm.
because found out she was no longer in the foster system. So she clearly knows all of that to find her.
Mm-hmm.
So she at least was trying.
Yeah, and maybe it wasn't like a close adoption either. Yeah, but Sam just still says, she got a sucky life and there's nothing she could do to fix that. And Brooke points out that she's been going to that coffee shop for months, so she must want something from her, even if it's just closure.
Which is true. She should. I mean, if she wants to, but like, what if it's your only chance?
Right. And, Sam says, yeah, all her questions, why wasn't she good enough? Why didn't she love her enough? How did she just throw her away?
But it could also be that she, in this, Brooke didn't say it, but like it could have also been she thought she was placing her for adoption to a loving family. She didn't realize she was going to the foster system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, remember that's what happened on Life Unexpected. Kate thought she was going to a home,
Mm-hmm.
an actual family, but obviously she didn't. And then she clearly regretted that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been that way too. I don't think people have a baby and put them place them for adoption going, oh, they're gonna go to a foster home. Like, I don't think that's what people think when they have their baby. You know, I think they look at their own life going, I can't give my baby this life. So what do I do? You know what I mean? I don't think that's probably what her mom was thinking. So, because I don't think that's what people think of.
Yeah.
So when she says, why doesn't she love me? Maybe she did love you enough, like Ellie did, to give you away. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad that Peyton doesn't talk to Sam during this time, you know, and give her, you know, her view on her experience with her birth parents too.
Yeah, because Peyton at first was like, no, I want nothing to do with you. But she came around and she's glad she did because Ellie passed away. Because again, this might be your only chance and something could happen.
Right. Yeah, so Brooke was still, you know, trying to say that maybe her mom, you know, giving her up was the hardest thing she ever had to do.
Oh, that's what they could have done with this episode. They, instead of writing all these stupid flashbacks, they could have actually had Peyton talk to Sam.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been real. Like, I would have liked that more than all these flashbacks.
Right. Yeah, so Brooke says even on her worst day, Victoria never gave her away. But if she wants to know why, she's the only person who can answer that and decides to let her towards Sam.
But she kind of did give her away. She gave her away to Karen. She gave her away to Larry. She kind of did. She didn't force Brooke to go to California, which means you really don't care about your kid, because if I had a kid, my kid is going with me. Just like if Brooke would have taken Julian up on the offer, she was going to take Sam. It wasn't like Sam was going to stay back. Like that whole thing of, if you truly loved your kid, they're going with you. Like the only time they'd stay back is if, well, you don't love them. But they financially could take her, and they didn't. They left her there. Remember, that's when after her and Lucas weren't together, I don't even know, but that's when she got the apartment. Which, what parent gives their child an apartment? Like, it's just, you don't really love her then. And they clearly didn't. Remember, they changed her name. Remember, they sold the it's like all this stuff showed they did not love Brooke. So for her to say, well, she never gave me away, she kind of did.
Right.
In a way, like, legally, did she? Technically, remember, she kind of did to Larry. So what are she talking about? She did give her away. She never came to check on her or on anything.
Right.
So there you go.
And then Mia gets a text from Chase saying he's sorry, and then Esme walks up and tells her in person that he's sorry. He should have told her about Brooke. So Mia asks if he loved her, and Chase says he thought he did, but that was before he fell in love with her. And kisses her hand. And then at the dance, Jamie is sitting down, and there's a girl sitting at a distance away from him. And Chuck sits in between them and tells Jamie that Madison's been talking about him all night. So, of course, this makes Jamie happy, and Chuck apologizes for, you know, posing him, his words. And then, you know, Madison's still waiting for him, and Jamie sees her leaving from the other side of the gym. And then Chuck gets closer to the other girl. And
I love how she goes, no.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. So he scooches back over. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And hey, I love how that little girl has standards. She's like, I ain't going for you. I'll go for anyone else but you. See,
set her boundaries,
See, she knows that he's a bully. Jamie's just a follower.
Yeah. And then Jamie sits next to Madison, and they hold hands, which was cute. And then Devon is with his family when he gets a call where he learns that he gets a trial for the European team, so he's taking Nathan's spot.
Do you know what I thought? He said, my wife just had a baby.
Oh,
no, I'm saying they didn't show the baby, but she is out walking as if they had this baby a few months ago. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like she would be exhausted, and especially because they have another kid. Like she would be so like a lot of new moms don't go out. They're home with their children because they're constantly taking care of their kids and not out just strolling like this happy little family. Like, you know, there's a transition period, and I feel like she'd be at home if she just had the baby. I'm like, okay. Plus, again, she looks really good for just having the baby. She don't look tired or exhausted or, anything at all.
Right.
Perfectly fine. I was like, here we go, that TV magic.
And then at home, Haley is giving Nathan a back massage when he, starts worrying, like, what if he gave up his only shot? And Haley tells him that his chance is coming. She believes that. And Nathan kisses her hands and chased her with Mia. And then they hold hands, and then we see Brooke and Mia also holding hands as they stand in front of the coffee shop where Sam's birth mom works at. So Brooke tells her she'll be right outside waiting for her. She needs her. So Sam walks into the cafe, and Sam looks over her shoulder at Brooke, and Brooke gives her like a reassuring smile.
Wow, she's also like in tears.
Yeah. Yeah, so she just watches them with a broken heart, yeah. And then elsewhere, Lucas is about to show Pam a concert ticket that he found in the car. And she has her eyes closed until he says to open them. And, she can't believe he found it. And, so that's a concert they never went to, like you said before. And she still can't believe he pretended to like the Cure all that time.
And he says, I never said I liked it. I said I liked when I was kissing you to the Cure.
Yeah, so she still says that was one of the best days of her life, even if they didn't go. Because she had really good pie at that diner. And they had their whole lives in front of them, and he tells her they still do. And then she tells him that the Cure's playing right now, so there's her kissing, so he kisses her, and they also hold hands. And then another flashback was when Lucas and Payne looked up at the night sky while leaning on the hood of his car. And apparently he had those tickets for 6 months, and then they lost him in 6 hours. And Payne says maybe they could go to the doorman and explain that he did have 2 tickets. But Lucas doesn't think that will work. And then he says it's sorry about the concert and then not going. So she says he needs to go out to a sold-out show anyway. And she only has one more night with him anyhow. So unless he doesn't show up tomorrow with another surprise, he says that that's what it takes to keep her from moving, because he's going to miss her. And she says he better, because she has a lot of dreams wrapped up in him. And it's kind of hard to have a happily ever after by yourself. And they're going to have that, get married, make lots of babies in the backseat of that car.
This is what I was talking about. This part of like all of this. The look on her face is what is happening now. Of, are we going, like, is this going to happen? Like, is this baby going to make it? Like that kind of thing of like, the look on her face was about now, not about 4 or 5 years ago. So that's why it didn't make sense. Like, why is she acting like the story now? She's supposed to be acting like back before all of this ever happened. That's what the flashback was. It wasn't supposed to be what's happening right now. But the look on her face was, because she did that like fake smile back to sad again. And I was like, no, like, you just threw this whole scene in the trash now, because I didn't like it. Like, it should have just been a smile. And then that was it. It should not have been a faded smile.
Yeah, so your highs and lows?
The low was all of these Lucas and Peyton fake scenes. My high, probably the dance. And Jamie finally getting to sit with Madison and talk to her, because he had a little broken heart. And yeah, so that was my high and low. What about you?
Yeah, the low was Victoria trying ruin Sam's chance of getting to know her birth mom, at least the knowledge of her birth mom reaching out to her. And then the best was Brooke because of the same situation, but she did the, hardest thing and let Sam have that relationship, with her birth mom, getting to know her and all that,
So,
even though, Brooke saw herself as her mom, and
so
doesn't
your
want to lose her.
so your high was what?
Oh, I skipped. I went from best to worst characters wise. Yeah, seeing, yeah, the best was a dance too, because Skills also talked to Lauren, and that's kind of the start of their relationship for the rest of the season and into the next.
To the next.
I don't remember how long it lasted, but I don't think it ended or lasted for the rest of the show, right?
Oh, I mean, I want to say
Maybe until like 8. I don't know.
I want to say in season 8 they're also together.
Oh, but I have no idea.
But I feel like it's always off and on.
Right.
Yeah, like we can finally let go of Skills and Dub.
Yeah. And then still was Victoria just destroying the mail and then being stupid and leaving half of it in there, but yeah.
I would rate this an 8. It had good drama, even though I don't really like it, but it had good drama. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say 8 too.
And then for me, the best was Brooke because she stood up to Victoria trying to stop her, even though that's hard to do. And she was always looking out for Sam and did what she felt was best for Sam to talk to her birth mom, even though it was going to break her heart again. And then the worst was Victoria for everything the opposite.
Yeah, it's the same for me too.
Because it's always like whenever Victoria comes on scene, it's like Dan back in season 1 through 4. Whenever they're on screen, they're always going to be the worst.
Yeah.
Very little are they ever going to be the best. I mean, maybe she won't be the best until season 9. Isn't that her turnaround?
Maybe, yeah, or 8 even, maybe.
Yeah, something like that, but it's definitely not right now. So yeah, she was definitely the worst.
Yeah.
And then what's the next episode?
Episode 22, Show Me How to Live.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.